All right, we are live. I welcome everybody to Learn It Live. I'm so excited to introduce our guest speaker today. Alex Kowalkowski owns Prime Media Consulting LLC, and that's a digital marketing company exclusively working with local small business owners and nonprofits. So, Prime Media Consulting originated out of the Chicago land area over 5 years ago. And Alex quickly grew the company to work with small businesses throughout 9 different states in the Midwest, Southeast, and Northeast. So Alex and his family decided to move here to Murrieta, California on March 15th to stay close with his wife's family, who are also small business owners in Southern California. And he joined our chamber. And he really couldn't have picked a better time. The day before Corona shut everything down. Literally, this happened. I remember him in our office, and yeah. But anyways, now we're lucky to have him here on Learn It Live, talking about the foundations of an effective website and it not just being a digital business card. So take it away, Alex. Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you, everybody. Again, my name is Alex. I own Prime Media Consulting. We're a digital marketing company, as they said, that we really focus on not only building websites, but if you already have a website, we make it so it's found on the Google machine that people seem to be going to a lot. So the whole idea behind it is we can make a website that becomes your salesperson and really generates leads, especially right now. Lead generation is huge. We want to make sure that where you can't shake hands, kiss babies, and go out there and actively market your business, your website can do that for you. There's so many things on social media and on online that people are looking for your product or service. There has to be a reason why you're not showing up there and how we can help you get showing up there. So at the end of the day, we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth, but I just wanted to get to know me a little bit. But we're going to go through a quick agenda. And yes, I am a big Marvel fan. I'm a big movie fan in general. So that is Thanos' and on there that we had a local artist in Chicago commissioned for us that we do website design, SEO, pay-per-click, social media, referral marketing, and reviews and customer service. So let's get through this. I'm going to go through a couple bullet points. We're going to try not to hit every single bullet point because I know how boring that can be when you are watching a PowerPoint. So we're going to glance over some of these. Some of these I'm not going to cover, but they're just there. So when you are listening to me, you can also read some other things, pretty things on the page. So we're going to go over the truth in business, how we search, how Google actually works, reviews, SEO, social media marketing, the top 10 mistakes business owners are making, and how to properly manage your marketing dollars and marketing budget. So here we go. Let's get something straight off the get. So the first thing is, when you were an employee, let's say you were a plumber. You were the plumber. You went to work, you did the plumbing, you fixed leaky pipes, you did everything you needed to do. When you're a roofer, you're out banging nails, all that type of stuff. And that was your job. You were the roofer, you were the plumber, you were just the employee of the business. Now you have become a business owner. The idea behind becoming a business owner is that you have to take off the mindset of I'm going to be swinging the nails eventually. Hopefully you can get to the point where you can hire people, but you have to think like a business owner. So lead generation is the key. You are no longer a plumber. You're no longer a roofer. You're no longer a doctor. You're no longer a whatever. When you own a business, you are now a marketing company that uses plumbing, HVAC, all the other different services that your company will provide to grow the business, because you're now the marketing company. You're a lead generation. All you are looking to do is build and bring leads to your company, because nothing is done until something is sold. So I guess the question I would have is, in your business right now, I don't know where you are in the phases of your season of your business, but how many of you guys could use more salespeople? I think a lot of people would say, I would love to have someone that is going out there selling for me if I can afford them and all that type of stuff. As a business, as Prime Media Consulting, all we care about is costs per legitimate lead. So many companies want to talk about how many calls you totally had, but we care about legitimate leads. How many are local? How many are over 30 seconds that what I would consider as a real phone call? Things like that. We really dive into the details of your marketing strategy to make sure things are working. And this is actually a really good point. build a cult, not a company. You want influencers. You want to have awesome Disney World type of experiences when people are using your company, using your service. You want them to then become not only clients, but then advocates of your business, influencers out there in the in the world saying, hey, you need to choose ABC Plumbing because they're freaking phenomenal. And so it's the whole Apple mentality of their job is to build the cult, build the brand, people will buy an iPhone. It may not be the best iPhone out there on the marketplace. It may not be the best phone there, but people love the brand. People are advocates of the brand. So that's eventually where you want to turn your business to be. And as a business, we like to connect with like-minded, goal-oriented people. And I always tell people perfection is the enemy of progress. So finally, you want to be different. You want to turn heads. And I'm going to show you a little bit of things that you can do to be different. So the traditional logic is networking has always been the key. Well, I think if we've learned anything now is that active networking is phenomenal, but it's not the key, because at a moment's notice, it could be taken away from you. How many people are losing and suffering business because they can't go out and shake hands and like I said before, kiss babies with everything that they're doing now? So that if you build it, they will come model of I'm waiting for people to find me. We're noticing that that doesn't happen, right? Especially it doesn't work in an age when consumers can choose from among multiple options and extreme convenience. So you can literally sit on your iPad, phone, computer, whatever it is, and look for a company, and you don't care if they're in Menifee, Temecula, Fallbrook, Marietta, Lake Elsinore, you don't care as long as they're coming to you. So it's not like it used to be where one town really matters. It's really about your region. And as a business owner, where are you being found in that region? So, COVID. So how many people are feeling the effects of the traditional networking mindset? So I guess the biggest thing I would say is how many people have heard some of these objections. So I have to look it over. Next month would be a better month. Now's the time. Let me see how you do it first. I need to do my research. Let me get back with you. I don't have the money. I'm almost ready. Let me run this by my parents, my uncle, my friend, my accountant, whatever it is. I'm excited to do this. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Let me need to mull it over. All these objections, we all hear these as business owners, right? So the question I would have is, why are we not being so successful? We get all these objections. And I think a lot of it is we're not finding the right people who are opting into our services, right? So I wanted to see kind of statistically how people are why people are doing well and why people are failing. And some of the reasons why I found people are failing is because 42% of the people say they fail because there's no market or need for the product or service. They run out of money. They were out-competed. So competition is a real thing. Just because you have a client today does not mean they're going to be a client in 6 months. They failed on pricing. Poor marketing, or they ignored the voice of their customers. So there's some great things. So what are the problems that make small business owners fail? So I would challenge you on these things. Advertising and marketing is always changing. There was a time when there was no internet and it was all phone books. How many businesses are really keeping up to date with the fast-paced movement of the internet? And there's not enough time in the day. You're doing other things. You have so many hats. They believe that their staff can do it. You might have Judy, who's a great receptionist, but she might not know anything about Facebook, but that's her job, right? So how many times do we put people in there to try and do something when they're not really skilled to do that? So how do we get over these problems? I guess back in the day, advertising, like I said, was super simple, right? You really had limited options. You could do radio, billboard, TV, direct mail, directory, phone books, all that type of stuff. And now, just think of it. This is 2011. There's 150 ways that you could really be growing your business on the internet, right? So 2012, 350. 2014, 1,000 ways. 2015, 2,000 ways. 2016, 3,500 ways. 2017, 5,000 ways. 2018, 6,800 ways. 2019, over 7,000 ways. And already in 2020, we have over 8,000 ways that you can promote your business or do something online to streamline your business through using the internet. So I guess, the sign of a great business owner and a marketing consultant like ourselves is the ability to set aside the personal preferences and learn what's actually working in the marketplace. Plus I would ask you, out of all those 8,000 businesses that are there to help you online, how many you think of them actually have a sales force? And I'm guessing a lot of them are saying that they're the best. And so really a lot of what I said on the previous slide is that they trust salespeople to be in their best interest, but you have to know that salespeople are salespeople for a reason. They're there to sell you something. So they're always going to try and promote their product. So you want a company out there that's really going to take their personal preferences aside and really learn what works for a business and go from there. So how many of you guys have heard these buzzwords? So PPC, social media, mobile marketing, SEO, branding, all that type of stuff, right? All these buzzwords. And frankly, I've had enough of them, just like you probably have, because it's hard to kind of figure out which one I'm going to actually focus on, right? Let's just break it down to the complete basics. So web design. So I have kind of a love-hate relationship when it comes to web designing. So what you see as a website, right, is the prettiness factor, how great it looks, how functional it is when it comes to scrolling down on the page on your smartphone, making sure it's one swipe up and swipe down. You don't want to stretch the page. How many of us have gone to websites where it kind of sucks and you have to move it around just to get information on a mobile version? So you want to make sure your website is really pretty. And graphic designers have pretty much turned into website designers, and their job has always been the creative mindset. And it's always been a pushing boxing match between the two of us, because I care about lead generation. I care about calls coming into your business, the function of the website to turn it into a salesperson, and creative people want to make it look pretty. So not all the time is a website that looks pretty showing up on the front page of Google. I mean, how many, if you did a search right now and for your business, for your service, whatever it is, and you typed in, your business, let's just say it's a plumber. So we'll do water heater repair in Marietta, water heater repair in Lake Elsinore, in Menifee, in Temecula, and Fallbrook. Let's just look at those 5 towns. How many times did you show up on the front page of Google? Okay, so if it's one time in your city, great. But I'm sure, as we talked before about how we're expanding our marketplace, not only in our city, into other communities, you want to be found for other different towns. So it's about not making sure the website is always pretty, but also functional. So it's not about ideas, it's about the ideas happening. So we partner with a lot of graphic designers and website agencies to let them continue to build and design websites using that creativity. But now our job is to come on board and say, okay, I have this great looking website, make it work, right? Give me leads. So this is a big caution. If you have a Wix website or a GoDaddy Builder website or Squarespace website or all these low price free website builders, they are horrible for your business in regards to long-term success for a multitude of reasons. One, you don't own that website template. So if you ever want to change things, move things around, whatever, you're bound and restricted by what they provide you. Or if you ever want to move companies or things like that, you're bound and you have to start completely over. Also, when you don't own any work that you did. So if we were hired to do to optimize a website on a Squarespace page, and we say, okay, now it's time to update this thing and get more functionality, pretty much you're starting from scratch. So we recommend having a website that you own, free and clear. You're not leasing it from any business, you own it. So make sure that when you're working with somebody, you want to make sure that you own the website that you're doing. All right, so here's the truth, straight talk. So you guys spend all this money on building a website, right? But most of you guys are treating it as an extension of your business card. Is that if I want it, so if people go to our website, they can learn more information. Great, but why wouldn't we want to use it as a way to market to people and find people, opt into our services? I mean, how cool is it? Just think of Facebook, for example. How many of you guys are on different Facebook pages, like Temecula Talk, Marietta Talk, all these other different ones out there, right? And people constantly are asking for, hey, I need a plumber. Hey, I need a roofer. Hey, I need an HVAC guy, especially right now, it's freaking hot. So what I would probably say is you guys are not focusing on the lead generation aspect of your website. So let's figure out how we can do that. How many of you guys raised your hands when I asked you if you could use a salesperson, in your head, right? A website works 24/7. It never takes a break. It never takes vacation. It never has FMLA or any other type of leave. It doesn't randomly quit or have any type of turnover, right? You can't teach it to hunt and you can teach it to hunt and generate leads. That's what it's designed to do if you're doing it effectively, right? So you reach ready to buy consumers, or I like to call opt-in people. If I'm doing a search for water heater repair or air conditioning repair, and I'm typing air conditioning repair, La Cresta, Bear Creek, Temecula, whatever it could be, right? I want to make sure that if someone clicks onto my website, they're opting into my content. They want to know what I'm doing. But if I don't have anything that talks to that person, I'm never going to be found there. So, I'm sorry. So you can make serious money off a website if you decide it's no longer a business card. So here's the singular truth in internet marketing, right? The best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google because no one searches there. It's fact. So search engines like Google are all about the customer experience engagement. If I'm searching for water heater repair in Temecula, I want to make sure that there's content on my website that talks about how I serve Temecula for water heater repairs. So disclaimer though, Google changes all the time. All the search engines change all the time. So what might hold true today may completely change the next month. But let me tell you what's working well today. So let's look at a typical Google search, right? So I did plumbers in Marietta. So there are now 4 aspects to Google. So if you guys don't know what the aspects are, the first one is Google Guarantee. Google Guarantee is phenomenal. It is better than pay-per-click ever could imagine could be. If you haven't heard of Google Guarantee, let me explain it. So y'all know who Home Advisor is, right? Whether you love them, hate them, Angie's List, Home Advisor, it's the lead generation thing where I pay for a lead and it gets shared with 15 other different businesses, and good, bad, or ugly, at least I get an opportunity for a phone call, right? It's better than a click. It's better than a maybe they'll find me type thing. They're actually looking for service. The problem with that, with Home Advisor and other different companies, is that they share the leads, right? You're getting the same call with 15 other different people. Well, Google decided to do the same thing where it is a lead generation machine, but you're paying for you to only be the one that gets the call. So I love it. It's a great program. Highly recommend if you're a service-based company to look into the Google Guarantee. We'll definitely help you set that up. They are phenomenal. A lot of our clients are doing very, very well off of the Google Guarantee. Next is paid search. So it's right underneath that, the Google Guarantee, you see the ads, right? Those are people that are paying for you to click on them, pay per click. So this is an example of JC Plumbing and Right Time Riverside Plumbing. They're paying for that click. If I would have clicked on their page, I would then be charged money. But they're wanting to attract that business. Pay per click is great. 20% of all activity from Google comes from paid search. All right. It's great because you can show up in an instant. Your website may stink. Your website may be beautiful. But at the end of the day, is your website finding itself on the front page of Google? If not, that's why people turn to pay-per-click. It's because it's the immediate gratification of now I'm paying to show up there. So like I said, it's typically for business owners who don't invest in their website optimization, but still want to see results fast. Like agencies like phone book companies or other different companies love pay-per-click because they don't have to do a lot of work to set this up for you, and you can get leads or clicks at least. But at the end of the day, I care about calls coming in, not necessarily clicks. Those can be completely manipulated. Then you have Google Maps. No SEO company can really optimize Google Maps. You probably get a phone call at least 10 times a day about someone saying, hey, we want to update your Google listing page. We work with Google. Newsflash, Google doesn't call for Google Maps. No one is actually going to optimize your Google Maps page for either $150, $129, whatever they charge. They're pretty much scams. But you want to make sure that your business is verified on Google Maps, and you want to put content on there. And we'll go through that in a little bit. So 46% of all searches done have the local intent. They want to find someone local. So make sure that your business is, again, speaking to the local search. You see this on every day, like I said before, on social media, Temecula Talk, things like that. They're looking for local companies. So this is Google's version of that. If you don't know how to do that, you can create your Google Maps program. We can help you with that as well. But it's a free service. Do not have someone pay you to do this, or you pay them to do this. It's completely free. 66% of all business owners say that finding a new customer is a top concern. This is a great opportunity. So you get a pin, you set it up, they mail you out a pin, and then once you're done with that, you verified your business. Now you have the opportunity to show up on the Maps page for Google listings. So it starts with the pin, and it's usually done within a week. So it's not that difficult, but it's something that does need to get done if you own a small business. Every business should do that. Even if you're a work from home business, or you're a or you don't really want to share your address because you want to be private, you can actually turn off the feature so this listing doesn't show your address, but everyone should have a Google My Business page. We're going to go over what you want to check your information every quarter, have your hours of operation, acceptable payment methods, logos, products and services, multiple categories. If you're a plumber, you have water heaters, you have plumbing contractor, you have all the different things that you do. Specify the area that you serve. Use a local telephone number. That's huge. No more 866 numbers if you can handle it. There's also ways around getting other local telephone numbers. If you have a main number, we can help you out with that too. You want to put pictures on there and create Google posts. As a matter of fact, Google will actually message you saying customers can update your information. You have to approve that. They might scrape the internet for other things that they find, and they will ask for you to approve. So you have to constantly go into your Google page at least once a quarter to go in there. I would recommend once a month, but once a quarter is fine. Make sure you have the correct name, address, and phone number on all of your listings online, all of them. That's the first step for a proper website, is to make sure that the listings out there on the internet are all correctly the same. It was new in 2018, but I don't know how often you guys take a look at your Google My Business page, but now there's a business description that you can actually put on there. So instead of just having your name with one review that probably was your aunt, you can actually put a description and pictures about your services on your Google My Business page. So make sure you do that. And if you need help with that, we'll definitely help you out with that too. Make sure, like I said before, your information is consistent. Google, Bing, Yahoo, Facebook, Better Business Bureau, YP.com, LinkedIn, TripAdvisor, all these other different web platforms. Make sure it's consistent across those things, because those are links. Google is a spider. It's a text-based program too. It doesn't care about prettiness. It doesn't care about pictures. It cares about the text. That's why we have fights with graphic designers a lot, because they like things pretty, but pretty usually is pictures or videos, and Google can't read those. So we love text. And so we want to make sure that your information is text-wise correct all across the internet. Each online listing has a different verification process, and Google really only trusts a number of local directories and relies upon the major directories. Now, what's awesome about being part of the Marietta Wildomar Chamber of Commerce is that you guys have great link juice. So if they are showing up on the front page of Google for a lot of different searches out there. So having a listing on their chamber page that's tied into yours is very good for your business. That's why people should be part of multiple different organizations, because the more links you can get out there that are trusted, that get good traffic volume and good link juice and link back to you, that's positive news. So I would make sure that you definitely take advantage of what you have to offer within the chamber here and or other chambers out there that you might be affiliated with. Reviews. So how do you currently get reviews for your business, right? That's one of the sucky things. It's so easy to get a negative review, because if I just step on your toe or I look at you weird, you're going to write a 1-star review about our company. It's so hard for small business owners to get 5-star reviews from customers that really do enjoy the experience with you. So, but I mean, studies show that 70–80% of people research a company online before visiting the business or making a purchase with them. So reviews are hugely important, right? So I have always said that you either manage your reviews or the reviews will manage your business. So you have to be the one that also engages with your Google My Business page for the reviews. If you see a 1-star review on your business and you can't write a positive response in regards to that, or some sort of retort to that, that's not negative, but some sort of retort to the issue at hand, all people are going to see is that 1 star. They're not going to see a business owner's mindset. So the perception is reality, right? They're a horrible business because they have 1 star. Why would I go to them? So make sure you're being active with that. And people do look at their reviews. Think of Yelp. Think of all these different websites out there. And people love to see 5-star reviews because it shows you're great. They love to see 1-star reviews because they want to know. Everyone's kind of a voyeur in their own world, right? They want to know what's going on. They want to kind of see what's happening, and they want to kind of look behind the curtain, see if there's any problems with your business. So it's really important that you manage both aspects of that and find common ground, if that makes sense. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as they do a personal recommendation. So now we get into the nuts and bolts. This is why I love search engine optimization, because it is really turning your website into a salesperson. where you might not be able to afford someone $50, $60, $70,000 a year to actually be as a salesperson, this thing can get you leads. And I'll show you in a couple of examples of customers that we currently work with and their current results. So this is what's going to be really cool. So 32% of businesses invest in social media, 25% of are investing in online marketing, and only 17% of are investing in SEO. So if everyone's going to Google, right, and we all know that Google is the dominant player, why are only 17% of businesses investing in their SEO? It's asinine, because you should be the one that wants to be found on Google, because that's where everyone is going, especially right now in Coronaville. You want to make sure that you are the one that's being found in Temecula and Menifee and Lake Elsinore and all the other different areas around here. You want to be the one that's being found for your product or service across the multiple communities. So that's why this can be so powerful for your business. All right, let's take a look at something. So I'm going to throw a bunch of different statistics on here. I promise you I'm not going to go over a lot of them. The whole idea behind this is just, you can read them while I'm talking about a couple of them. So leads from search engines have a 14.6% conversion rate, while outbound leads like direct mail or other things that you're doing only has a 1.7% conversion rate. Why is that? Because they've opted into your content. They did the search already. Now they're just trying to find how to be found. It's like the phone book back in the day. No one flipped through the pages of the phone book in the bathroom looking for great content. They only went to there if they're looking for a need. So that's what the internet has come to be, and you guys need to take advantage of that. So I would say 80, like I said before, only 20% of the people use paid search, so 80% of the people are going to the organic listings. So the problem with SEO is that it takes time, right? And you have to be patient. The problem with a lot of small business owners is that we're not patient. It could take 6 months, 7 months for it to really to go up there, but it's like owning a home. If I can rent a house, I throw money down the rat hole, like all the realtors always say, right? And that could be good for your business in regards to, I just need business now. I need to get things going. But the long-term solution should be, how can I build equity into my website to make it so it's that lead generation machine for me? So let's just look at something. I probably should have done Marietta, but I did McHenry, Illinois. But here's where 80% of the people look, right? Or all these other different searches. That's where most of us go to look for something. 75% of people never scroll past the first page. So if you're not on the front page, you're probably not going to get a phone call. That's why I say the best place to hide a dead body is page 2 of Google. Does that make sense? So here's where I'm kind of talking about. Pay-per-click, flat fee. You pay $1,000 to Google, you're going to get $1,000 worth of clicks every single month. It probably won't vary very often in regards to how many clicks you had per month, unless it's your season and everyone's flooding to it, or there's in Chicago, like there's storm damage or things like that, where now everyone's trying to get the abundance of leads that are coming at that time, right? So you're going to have a kind of a fixed rate. SEO is a long-term game. So the cost is going to be a little bit higher initially because we're building that equity, right? And over time, as you show up, the cost will go down because the number of leads are coming up. So while you will always have a fixed cost with pay-per-click, this thing can grow ever so often to leaps and bounds above pay-per-click advertising. So that's why I said 14.6 versus a 1.7 close ratio. So let's look at just 1 through 10 page of Google, right? This is actual statistics from Advanced Web Rankings website of, if you were in first position, you'd be clicked on 29% of the time. Second position, 14%, and it goes down from there. So it's second page and everything else makes up all the other different percentages. It's incredibly important to rank high on search engines and to actually be the one that gets the call. Marketing companies like myself say improving SEO is the #1 goal, which I think everyone should be doing. So 50% of B2B marketers stated that SEO generates more leads than any other marketing initiative. Congratulations, right? Let's look at this real quick. What is the organic signals for a website? And this is why we talked about what's important to Google's end user experience. How many people are directly going to the website? How long are they staying on the website? How many pages they're viewing? What's the bounce rate? Bounce rate is how many times they go to the website and then come right back off it. How many domains, the link juice, are linking back to you? How many backlinks are going to you? Total IPs referring back to you. How many follow backlinks do you have? Content, anchors, keywords embodied, keyword density, all all the technical mumbo jumbo that I love to talk about that you probably don't want to ever learn. This is what is big for us to make it so you're found on the search engines. So these are the things that are very important. Google accounted for 94% of all our activity. Great. Let's see. Let's look at an example of an actual client, right? So this is an actual client that we have in Chicago. As Heather said earlier, we are originally from Chicago. We moved here March 15th, the day before the world closed. And we were like, hey, let's go gangbusters and grow in Chicago and grow in California. And well, that didn't happen as fast as quickly as we thought it would be because, you know, the Rona. And so I wanted to show you an example of a customer that we are currently working with in the Chicagoland area. So Ages, Windows, and Gutters, they're based out of Wakanda, Illinois. So it's a small little suburb outside of Chicago. And if you do a search for Ages, Windows, and Gutters, Wakanda, Illinois, here's their listing, right? That's one of their listings. You'll see the different organizations, Home Advisor, Manta, Yelp, Dexnos.com, BBB. He's a part of all the different things, which you should be. That's a link juice we're talking about, right? And now he was spending $8,000 a month on pay-per-click ads before we became a client. And the idea behind it was his website wasn't ranking well, and he wanted to pay Google to say, I need the leads, I need the opportunity. My window is 4, 5, 6 months of a year in Chicago. I need to make sure that I'm hitting that opportunity, right? So Google was a great strategy for pay-per-click because where the website wasn't showing up well, he could immediately show his business there. But he's in just the one town. So we took over their website. He wanted to show up on Google without always paying. He wanted to be found in all the other surrounding communities because that's what you should do. You should make your website into a salesperson. So we talked about the pay-per-click fixed ratio, the cost. It's going to be initially higher, but it'll go down as the leads go up over time as we build equity into your website. Well, let's take a look at this. Libertyville, Illinois, about 15 minutes north of Wakanda, where he lives. Now he's on the front page of Google, and he's on the maps. You do a search for Niles, and again, some of these towns might not make sense to you, but it's like Niles is equivalent to if I'm in Marietta being found in Oceanside. So it's that far of a difference. He's finding himself on the front page of Google for that. Lake Zurich, another town in Google, in Chicago. Northbrook, another town. Here's where he is in those. Antioch, another town in Chicago. That's where he's found on the maps. So the idea is just continual. You want to be found in the towns that you are doing business in. So within 12 months, we completely replaced all the calls he was getting for pay-per-click, spending $8,000 a month. He was actually able to pocket that money. How awesome would that be? So, and really the key is tracking how things are going. It's a progression. So on the graph here, like in May, with this company is the Dynaco Roofing Company, it was slow, and then a couple months later it built back up, and then a couple months up it built back up again. A couple months it went build up again. It's a progression as Google is indexing the pages and the content that we're building, finding that has good authority and good relevancy to what people are searching for. You're going to rank higher on the search engines, right? And not only that, we will actually show you how your page is ranked today and where it moves up or down in the search. So like 1 through 10, we said is on the front page of Google earlier. These are all the different towns that he's finding himself on the front page of Google for. Roofing contractors, hail damage, storm damage, the keywords that people are looking for, he wanted to be ranked for, and he's on the front page of a ton of them. So it takes time, but it works. And when there's a storm hits for him, he's getting a ton abundance of leads. Social media marketing. Let's get into this real quick. How many people believe social media is the biggest way to grow your business in 2019 and not 2020, right? And there's a number of statistics that are great for social media. Images are great. Pin posts are amazing. Videos are phenomenal. Your business should be heavily invested into video content to really explain what you do, how you do it, because again, everyone wants to find a little bit behind the curtain. They want to know your business. But let's get real into brass tacks with this. Should you do social media paid campaigns? Social media is not a business model. It's for a small business owner. It's not something that's going to drive a ton of business. Now, the group pages are amazing on there, but in and of itself, paid ads on Facebook don't really yield incredible return on investment. It's not really a great vehicle for selling because people would rather see videos of the kids playing, pictures of them showing how great they are at remote distance learning right now, and all the other different things. They're not there for that method. It's like getting a piece of junk mail in your mailbox. What's free today may charge tomorrow. Google's price and Facebook's prices are going through the roof when it comes to advertising because with Coronaville, it is one of the dominant ways people can be found. So as an auction-based program, it's going to go up higher and higher and higher. How do you really track an ROI from a like on Facebook or a share on Facebook, right? Luckily, you hopefully can get a phone call from it, but a like and a tag or whatever isn't necessarily going to turn into business. Percentage of actual viewers is relatively low. You have to constantly create stickiness. You don't want to be if you post all the time on Facebook, people are going to drown out your message. You're going to drown yourself out, really, and they're going to start ignoring what you post. How many times do you see a friend that posts on Facebook constantly about their business, and you just swipe, gosh, Judy, Karen, whatever your name is, stop it. The whole idea is you want to if you're going to post on Facebook, have it be something relevant, and have it be something where people can opt into, or something that they need that you can provide. If you just spray it at them, it doesn't really work that well. So the golden rule of social media marketing: likes equals $0 in revenue, and followers equals $0 in revenue. Tomorrow I can go in India and get you 1,000 likes or 1,000 followers. That's going to do absolutely nothing for your brand, do nothing for your business, but it makes you look pretty cool, doesn't it? It makes you look important. So I care about leads coming in. So if you have a limited marketing budget, you should be going after lead generation activities, not brand building strategies. So the top 10 mistakes small business owners make with their websites: failure to use a responsive website. Make sure it's good for smartphones. They rely on the free website graders because those are great. Poor use of headers, sidebars, and footers, skipping title tags and meta descriptions. Core information is hard to find your phone number. You'd be surprised how many times I can go to a website and I can't find your freaking phone number. Like, that is so frustrating as a consumer, that you bury your content. Website loading speed times are slow. Contact information needs to be there at all times. As we said, your phone number should be there all the time. Not paying attention to website architecture. How is it actually structured? There's no clear call to action. Why should I actually call you guys? Not creating a website designed for search engines. That's the biggest mistake that I think a lot of business owners have, is that they're not designing a website that's used for search engines. They're not designing something to be an extension of their pretty business card. Bonus: not knowing what keywords to optimize for and which keywords convert to calls. It's pretty important, especially if you want to make your website into a salesperson for you. Bonus number 2, using a template company issued landing page, website, or website builder. Think of it this way: if I build a website on Wix, I bet you $1 that there's probably a few people watch this, so I don't want to bet too much, but I bet you $1 that most Wix websites, most GoDaddy websites, all the free builder websites, Squarespace, all those, they don't rank on Google. I'm pretty much going to tell you they don't, because you're shackled with the ability to do things with those websites, but they're free or they're low cost, so there's a low barrier entry for you to do something, so they make it convenient for you, but at the end goal is to generate business. These things don't do what it's intended to do. So make sure you're working with a website company, whether it's us or somebody else, that their main goal is to make your website relevant and make your website a salesperson. Biggest question I ask people: what if you knew every result of every marketing campaign and every advertising campaign you were doing, as well as the networking events you participate in? How would it benefit your business to be able to track your ROI? That's exactly what we do. So this is a company that as of this year so far, we track all of their leads, where everything's going from. He had 1,900 calls so far from January to August when I started building this deck. So, and we tell them exactly where things are found. And be funny is that, everyone laughs that the phone book is no one uses it. You notice that's his one of his top ways to being found. 295 calls so far this year from the phone book. I don't care where people are searching. I really don't. I care about what's going to produce the leads. It's what we talked about earlier. Setting aside your personal preferences and learning what works. So find the different lead generation activities to make it so you can be found. Less than 30% of small business owners use any type of website analytics, call tracking, or coupon codes. 18% of small business owners admit to not tracking anything, which is interesting. Most people make decisions with their gut or perception. Perception isn't reality when it comes to marketing. Perception can hurt your business. Perception can, if I get out of something because I don't think it's going to work, that's a wrong. You want to know 100% you're making a sound business decision based off of statistics. not based off of, I don't think so. There's another company tracking their advertising, 496 calls to date. You'll notice a lot of Google, a couple phone books. This company is not necessarily a phone book category. What I would consider is one, but they are getting a couple calls from there, and it's a cheap cost per lead. All I care about is cost per legitimate lead. What's going to get me the best return on my investment? So these are different services we offer. I took up a lot of time and asked a crap load of questions here, or said a lot of different things. So we offer website design services, search engine optimization. That's our bread and butter. That's what we do very, very well. A lot of companies like to do everything. And yes, we can offer different services, but if you were going to contact Prime Media Consulting, here's the thing that you would want to be found for: website design and optimization. Yes, we'll do the pay-per-click. We'll set that up for you, not a problem. Yes, we can do social media marketing. That's not a problem. Pay-per-click is great. You're renting your spot, immediate gratification. You need to do that. You need to generate business now. Social media is great because you are wanting to brand yourself and you want to do stuff that's fantastic. That's fantastic. We would focus on lead generation activities more than anything, especially with a limited budget. Video production is fantastic because you want to engage people. We'll definitely set you up with some great people that can do that. We can always offer graphic design and printing services. But if you were going to start with something and you were really wanting to take 2021, because I'm stopping 2020. I'm giving everyone permission to just stop focusing on 2020 and worried about what I'm going to not hit this year. And just change your point of reference and change your mindset and say, all right, and I have 4 additional months of 2021. My goal, these 4 months are my planning months to make sure January, I'm out the gate in a fantastic mindset and structure for my business in 2021. And make sure that your website is being a good part of that. So another thing that we do for small business owners is we love to spotlight you. So we have a video podcast every single week on Facebook. It's called the Total BS Show, and BS stands for Business Spotlight. Don't think of it as dirty. And we had Mike on there a few weeks ago, and the idea behind it is it's about showcasing you. It's about talking about your journey, your struggles, the things that made you successful along the way. We want to showcase your business because I love to work with people that are established. They've done very, very well with themselves, but I also love working with people who are just getting started. I love the energy of someone that has a dream and wants to make it into a reality. And so what we do with this is we put people on the show where we can have free content for them to opt into to learn about their life as a business owner, what they struggled with, what are things they wish they learned along the way that someone either they ignored or they just didn't learn. So it's a great opportunity for you to kind of see other businesses throughout the country and what they're doing. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I'll open up to any questions. That's my personal cell phone number on there if you have questions. But I know we also have my Marietta number if you want to get in touch with me there too. So that's what I got so far, my friends. Is there any other questions?
Here we go. I was on mute. Thank you so much. That was so much information. My goodness. I'm like writing notes too. Let's see. If anybody has any questions, just put them in the comments. I think everybody is just saying like, oh my gosh, this is great info. This is amazing information. We have some Wakanda fans here.
Love it.
Yes. But I love what you were saying about like selling and graphic designers and things like that, because I have to say, Mike and I fight about that all the time. He's like, oh, it's just this info. And I'm like, okay, but it has to look good. And he's like, put the info out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that is such a true thing.
That's one of the biggest things is that small business owners are, you start a business because you love what you do, or you found a gap where you can offer something where other people aren't. And the idea behind this is like, you don't know what you don't know, and you get bombarded every day from someone trying to sell you something. Like, I would rather sit with someone and have a cup of coffee and talk about like what their goals are and really find something that, whether we offer it or not, that can really put them on the right path. That's why I love the Total BS Show as our podcast, is because like some of these people are not my customers, but they're just people that we've talked to and we've gotten to know their business, we've gotten to know their mindset, we got to know their passion behind what they do, and they're somewhat successful in what they do too. It's hard to have someone that fails, tell you how to be successful.
Right.
So that's one of the things that the caveats of this is you have to be relatively successful in your industry, in your geographic area, because I want people to learn from this, and it's something that we can definitely help out with. So I know April said something. Are you highlighting guests or on podcast?
Are your highlighted guests on the podcast clients, or are they anyone?
Oh yeah, we have a mixture of both. So some of them are my actual clients. So what's great is that throughout the year and change that we've been doing this, we've had some of our clients put on there, and they'll say straight up, some things work, some things didn't work. And that's what's great about marketing, is that you don't know what's going to work. But I'll tell you what, if you can make your website, there's 100% success rate if you can make your website on the front page of Google.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Without a doubt. So there you go, April. You should probably reach out if you want to get on the Total BS show.
So I'd love to have a chance to earn your trust, earn your business, whatever we can do. That's the goal behind this, was not to sell. The goal behind this was to say, hey, I've had no chance to really get to know any of you guys, and so I'm gonna opt in to hey, let's have a conversation, let's talk, and you're gonna know everything about me. You got 46 minutes and 4 seconds of me talking. Now it's my turn to hear you talk.
Absolutely. I love it. And yeah, we definitely want people to get to know you. You have such a cool thing that you are doing, and obviously you know what you're talking about, and because that was a overwhelming amount of information, and I love it.
Yeah, you're about to watch it a few times, I guess.
I know, right? I'm probably gonna go back and create like a test for myself and be like, oh, are we doing that? But you really did just join right at the beginning of of the quarantine, and I remember that day fondly, because you're like, hey, I'm from Chicago, I want to join the chamber, here's my awesome business. And Kim and I were like, what? This is so cool. Like, yeah, I mean,
okay. I will say, as someone that has moved out here, it's different wherever you live. Like I asked you guys, one, do you have networking groups that you do? And it's just different. Like I'm very fast paced, as you could probably tell from my conversations of just talking. Like it's dun 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 dun, and it's so chill out here that it's taken me 6 months to really kind of get to know the few people that I've been able to actually meet, and how things are done. It's just different. It's so entertaining as a sociological experiment to see how people are in different communities. Yeah. So it's fun.
Definitely. Cool. Well, if anybody has any personal questions or something like that you want to reach out to Alex about, that is his phone number. You can give him a call. You can check out his website, learn a little bit more of what Prime Media Consulting has to offer. I'm sure you probably have like one of those things where you fill out information.
Yeah. We actually have a live chat button where if you're going right on there to our website, you can chat with me right now on Facebook.
Perfect. And then we got April saying, welcome to the chamber family. And absolutely.
Thank you.
And
I feel so loved.
You are. No, but thank you so much for being on Learn It Live. I was really excited to have you on here and kind of talk about something that everybody knows that they need to address. And then they just are like, I don't know, like websites are scary. And it's people like you that make it less scary. And I think that that's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, what's really cool is that in moving out here and getting to know learning about different chambers, different communities, all that type of stuff. I mean, your chamber has been phenomenal when it comes to not only content, but support. I know that you guys called at least every member of the chamber twice during this whole Coronaville, and just to see how you're doing. And that's really shows that you guys are doing phenomenal work. And I love partnering with organizations that actually freaking care about people, and not just the $300 or whatever it was for dues. And every year they'd only call at renewal time. And so that's why I chose the Wildomar Marietta Chamber to be part of, because y'all care, and I care a lot about small business owners. I've owned a small business since I was a kid, and my family's all owned businesses. It's something where it's ingrained in me. And the problem is most people don't know what they don't know, and they're afraid to find out the answer.
Yeah.
And if I can just say one last thing before we hang up, because I know I'm taking up a lot of people's time.
No, you're doing good.
It build yourself a matrix today. Is if you own a small business, what I would do is sit down on your computer, open up an Excel spreadsheet, and put the top 5 towns of where you want to serve your business. And then do the top 5 keywords that you want to be found for. And then just do a Google search, plug them in. Roofing repairs, Temecula. Roofing contractors, Temecula. Storm damage. You guys don't have hail damage out here, but I mean, at least I don't think you do.
Not really.
But the different things that you guys do, put them all in a matrix and color code it. Green means I showed up on the front page. Red means I didn't. So you're going to build a beautiful Christmas tree of your keywords that you found or your areas of opportunity. And if you're seeing a lot of red on your page, that means your website isn't kind of up to snuff. So what are you going to do? You have the choice to say, okay, I'm going to let it just sit there, or I can actually make it be something that makes my phone ring. I mean, you saw the report of the calls that came in just off of Google. Thousands of calls a year just off of Google.
Yes.
My ears perked up to that one too. Coronaville? Oh man, I got a lot of them.
They love it. But
The
no,
Rona.
the Rona. No, you're absolutely right. And I think that's, it's a situation where, what are you going to do about it? You have to, make it real for yourself. I love that simple matrix of going, okay, where are my opportunities? And then going, okay, what are we going to do about this? Because this is what I want and how I want my business to grow. And it's looking at me, straight in the face. So where am I going to go from here instead of ignoring it? So
right.
I love that.
And
Take action.
The cool thing about this is that a website company or a marketing company should not lock you into any type of agreement. That's sad. That if you're locked in, good, bad, or ugly, you're locked into 15 months, 2 years, 3 years. There's a company for lawyers that will lock you in for 4 years to do SEO for them. And whether good, bad, or ugly, they lock in. We're a month-to-month company. So it's like we have to earn your business every single month. And because that's how I built this I used to work for a major small business marketing company, and they're locked in for 12 months, 15 months. And some were major hits, some were misses when it comes to results. But I had no control over the hits or misses. It was somebody else's job. Right. I have the control over the hits and misses. I'm being my own business owner now. And if I miss, I don't want to lock you into something. Why would I ever want you to be unhappy with something? Right. So I want to make sure that it gives the business owner all of the control to make the decisions. That's how it should be as a business owner. You should not give the website keys to a vendor that has control over everything that you do, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to Alex and definitely rewatch this because there are so many good nuggets in this that you're definitely going to want to, pay attention and take notes and take action to help your business. So once again, Alex, thank you so much for being here on Learn It Live. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you need anything, I'll be at co-working 3 days a week here, right down the road from the Marietta Chamber of Commerce, because I can't be around my kids all the time while they're homeschooling.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you want to poke the bear a little bit or just talk to me a little bit and say, hey, what are your thoughts? Come meet me at co-working. I'd love to see you there.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. And again, thank you, Alex. And we'll see you around. Bye.
No problem. Bye-bye.